Weather maps. We see them everywhere. Can have many different colors, shapes, and sizes. With all these different variables that can be in a weather map, I don't even know where to start. Today I'm going to help you understand why these colors are used and what they mean. Weather maps may be found on many different websites, news outlets, and even just Facebook pages, Twitter pages, whatever. But all of these outlooks originate from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. The SPC, or Storm Prediction Center, predicts when and where storms will occur. The SPC does the 1 to 8 day severe weather outlook for the continental United States. So you may be thinking, well, great, they predict severe weather, but what's that going to help me with? The SPC predicts severe weather so then people can know when their lives and property can be in danger. They break it down into the 4 easy categories so you can tell how severe the weather will be. First is categorical, so this just basically is like an overview of it all. Slight, marginal, enhanced, moderate, high risks, and also severe, just thunderstorm risk. The next is tornado, which this doesn't have any tornado, but it goes from 2% to 5% to 10%, 15, 30, 45, 60, and then significant, which can be any of them, but it means a EF2 to EF5 within 25 miles of a point. Next up is wind. 5%, 15%, 30, 45, 60%, and then significant also, which significant would be 10% or greater probability of wind gusts 65 knots or greater than 25 miles per point. And last but not least is hail. This one goes 5%, 15, 30, 45, 60, just like wind. It has significant. This one is 10% greater probability of 2-inch diameter larger hail within 25 miles of a point. Before I get into examples of showing different days, I'm going to go through what issues an outlook and what, like, high risk or moderate risk or enhanced risk, how you get to that level. So 2% tornado is marginal, as you can see here, and then you get up to 60%, then you get to high, which only has been issued once ever. 30% is moderate still. 30% significant is high, so you can see the difference right here, why the significant matters a lot more, because that means a stronger tornado is possible. Wind, there's no 2% obviously, and there's 5% is marginal. So marginal is 2%, 5%, and 5% for hail. Wind and hail are basically exactly the same, except for the fact that you can get a high risk with wind, 60%, which the most recent is like 2014. So that'll be my example. Day 2 is you get a high risk. It's almost identical, or it is identical. Sorry, to the day 1. No, wait. Yeah, it's identical. Day 3, you could only get up to moderate, but I mean that doesn't happen very often that you get day 3 moderate, because then you know you'll get high for sure. But 5% of anything is marginal. I mean, it's rare even to get enhanced for day 3. That usually means a high risk for that day coming up too. And then there's 4 through 8, which only has 15% or 30%, which they don't usually give that. It does say on rare occasions it does headline with the possibility of a severe weather outbreak, which is crazy. But yeah, 15 and 30% are usually what happens. So for our first example, we're going to go through a tornado-driven high-risk day, which was actually March 17th of this year, so not too long ago. I think there were 39 tornadoes, so quite a few, down in Mississippi and Alabama. So you can see here, it's a high risk with moderate and then enhanced all that. There's a 45% risk for tornadoes, which is very high, and it's all significant, so that means it could be a greater EF 2 to 5, which there were a few. And then you have the 30%, 15. So this is all high. 30 and 45 are high, so that's why that is in the high risk. And then the 15 is moderate, and then it goes on. Winds, 45%, which would only be a moderate risk. And then hail would only be enhanced risk. No, that would actually be a... Oh no, it would be only enhanced. So as you can tell, this was for tornado potential. It'll say right here, with multiple rounds of heightened tornado potential. This is not quite a wind risk, which a wind, I'll show you next, is completely different. This is where you'd plan for just basically being ready for all going in the basement and stuff. This is not what you want to have. This is the worst kind of outlook to have. Tornado driven is much more dangerous to an extent. It could be either way, it's dangerous, but tornado driven just is completely different because there's the risk of tornadoes, obviously, especially within the significant, which could be even higher. And you can see there's 2 million population. That is a lot of people. Look at all these big names: Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I mean, there's huge cities and stuff inside of these risks. That's why they issue all this stuff. In the 45%, Tuscaloosa is right in the middle of it. That's why they need to issue this, so that people know what to do and what's coming. Because if this wasn't issued, you wouldn't know if it was tornado or anything. If someone just sent you this, you wouldn't have any idea. But says they go break it down in the percentages, you can see 45% for tornadoes, 45% for wind. So that means there's the same risk of wind happening in 25 miles of a point tornadoes and wind happening in the 25 miles of a point. So that's crazy. So I mean, the same chance of you getting severe wind in this area is the same as getting tornadoes, and it could be significant ones. Hail was a lot lower that day, but I mean, there still was a lot of hail damage. So now we'll go into a wind-driven risk. That was in June 2014. Alright, here we are with the wind-driven risk, which it looks a little different because this is actually really pretty old. They didn't have marginal or enhanced risks yet. And it's over Iowa, so it's a little more close to home, I guess, literally and figuratively. So you can see the high risk, it goes all over southern Iowa. It was a thinking for like a derecho type storm. There was 10% tornado with significant, like this was for the beginning of the storm though, as they were firing up. And then you got the 60% for wind. That is the highest it can go, but that's the only way you can get to high risk with wind. So that had to be like that. And then you got the 45% for hail, and the significant over there, and the significant obviously for the wind, because I mean derecho, as we know, in Iowa derechos last year. Let's see. As you can see, I'll say it in a second. For it. So as this one was, they were already firing up. So a few models, some discrete storms, tornadic, but then correction, and then it'll. There you go. Late evening. Expect an increasing chance for widespread damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of potentially strong tornadoes in these areas. So they were also talking about the chances for like embedded tornadoes inside of the derecho. Across the Mississippi. MCS derecho should maintain damaging wind and hail potential across the east. So they basically, this is all this, these other risks, the slight and stuff. This is for after it passes. But the main risk was the high risk, obviously, right in the middle. That was 60% significant, which I mean, they haven't had that in a long time for wind. I mean, since 2014, so that's 7 years ago. Right over Iowa. But wind-driven could also be really dangerous. But usually they're at night. That's what I've always noticed. Derechos and stuff are usually during the night. It'd be after like peak heating and stuff, and then the storms start to like combine and make a windstorm. So it's even more dangerous being at night because there's no way to chase, there's no way to do anything else. You just got to stay at home and watch weather. Just like watch the news and everything that shows you what's happening, because you do not want to be caught outside or in a car with 120 mile per hour winds like last year. I mean, derechos are really, really dangerous storms. You do not want to be caught doing anything except sitting in your house. It's almost the same thing. You want to go to your basement, go into your room, especially, obviously 110 mile per hour winds. It's different if it's 70, because you don't really quite have to go into your middle roast room, but you want to not be outside. And also frequent lightning, and then this and large hail, and possibly even tornadoes. I mean, just stay safe. Just check these now. Next time you see one of these outlooks on your TV, which could be Weather Channel, AccuWeather, they all look a little different, but they usually are the same words and usually have the same percentages. Just know, you don't want to see that Pepto-Bismol pink. That is not a good sign, ever. This is the worst sign you can see. It means either a bunch of tornadoes or crazy winds. So just stay alert next time, and now you should know. So hopefully that should help a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more. I'm trying to figure some video ideas. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments, please, because it'll help me a lot. I have no idea what to make. This one I just kind of thought of today. Thought it was a good idea. just hopefully make some people more aware of how these outlooks work.